Hello, and welcome to the November astrology forecast. I've decided to go ahead and record these as an audio version because I've run all the charts and I've done all the work. My furniture and equipment will not arrive until sometime next week. I also start back with my clients on October 19th. So the rest of my October schedule is very tight. And so I thought, why not just go ahead and get these done while I'm sitting here waiting for my furniture, because I'm ready to go. I love this new area I've moved into. I can see the Milky Way at night. So I'm really excited about what I'm doing. I'm thrilled about the astrology coming up here in November and especially December and 2017. There is a new wave of energy coming in that we haven't seen before that is absolutely brilliant. And so I really want to get in here and do what I do. So thank you for your patience. I'll be back in November in front of the camera, and I'm excited to be with you. So let's get started. Enjoy and keep looking up. Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your November astrology forecast. And for those of you born in November, happy birthday! Now here in November, you may notice that there's way too many negative Nancys or Debbie Downers hanging around you. Boundaries are really important. Boundaries protect your space, protect you, and keep out those negative influences that are not beneficial to you. So do not be afraid to set important boundaries to keep the negative people away from your personhood and keep your place safe from lower vibrations. So remember that not everyone is worth listening to, and especially if it's negative or bringing you down. You know, the best way to evaluate that is, how do you feel when you come away from the person? When you come away from their message? Do you feel better? Do you feel stronger? Or do you feel negative? Or do you feel fear? Do you feel, what's coming up with you in your interactions with other people? And if you're coming away feeling not so good, that's your soul telling you that you do not need to engage with that person. And that not everyone is, worth your time or energy. Now, Jupiter is making wonderful aspects in November, both to Mars and Saturn. And this includes at your new moon on the 29th. So this is a month where you want to focus on your goals, allow the new you that's being born, and use your positive thoughts, which will create positive results. So as you go into November, Mars enters Aquarius on the 8th, and he is going to be in positive energy flow with Jupiter, your ruling planet, in Libra. And this is excellent for communication, anything that you're working on, anything you're writing, anything that you're creating, teaching, sharing, anything that you're doing with social media or your internet or your website or your work. This is a fabulous energy to get things done. So you could find yourself very busy in the community in November with Mars in this area of your life. And because he's in positive energy flow with Jupiter in the area of the money you make from the business you own or the money you make from the company you work for, that can increase income based on the work that you're doing. It's also a wonderful time to evaluate your goals. Is this goal still important to you? Is it time to make some new goals? It's also good energy to look at, your friends and, do you need to continue the friendship? Is it benefiting you? And what are you receiving from your relationships? This is the area where Jupiter is the love you receive from others. And are you receiving from your relationships? This is also an area where you could have sudden opportunity, unexpected opportunity. And there is this fabulous energy that's coming in, and you can start to feel it in November, especially, the latter part of November, by your new moon on the 29th. Jupiter is opposing Uranus, and that will go exact on December 26th, March 3rd, and March 28th. And this is a fabulous energy for making changes, better life choices. This is perhaps the most number one optimistic astrological event there could be. And so the fear for change, I don't want to make any changes, is replaced by enthusiasm. I'm ready for change. I want change. I want to try new things. So this is the tipping point away from stubborn resistance. I'm not moving. I'm not leaving the dead-end relationship. I'm not leaving the dead-end living location. To I'm willing to move on to a better relationship. I'm willing to move on to a better living location. So I really love this energy because it's in here in November, it's exact in December, and in 2017, and Uranus is going to start forming a gorgeous trine positive energy flow with Saturn in your sign, and Jupiter is sextiling Saturn and opposing Uranus. So there's this new wave of energy that's coming in for everybody. But you are a major player because Saturn is in your sign, and you're going to reap the rewards of hard work gets rewarded, taking risks gets rewarded, putting yourself out there gets rewarded, moving yourself out of negative situations gets you rewarded. And so this can increase your prosperity, especially because Jupiter is in that area of money. This can increase your wealth. And so I'm going to be giving some webinars on this in January because I really want to get everybody pumped up to take advantage of this positive energy that we've never seen before and we will not see again in our life, where we have Saturn in Sagittarius at the same time Uranus is in Aries and Jupiter is in Libra. So there's a new foundation, a new wave of energy coming in here for everyone that can improve your life, improve your prosperity, and help you and empower you to live your best life. Venus enters Capricorn on November 11th, and that brings the focus to your money, your earning ability, your values, what you love and value, your self-worth, your self-respect, your talents, your gifts and abilities. So this can increase income as well for you. Having Venus, the attraction planet, it's not so much that Venus rules money, although many people say that she does. She rules Taurus, who rules the second house of money. What Venus does is she gives us the ability to attract money. She gives you the ability to attract abundance. So law of attraction is always matching. And so Venus is very helpful for attracting money. Mars is very important to money because with Mars, you need energy and action to attract the abundance. And so Mars, the more you hustle with Mars, the more you earn. The more you put the energy out there, the more the energy comes back as prosperity or what you want and need. Now Mercury enters Sagittarius on the 12th. And this is great, having the messenger in your own sign. So now you're beginning to feel that Sagittarius energy being activated and, getting closer to your birthday. And so you are able to speak your truth and speak what you need. Now, Mercury will be challenged by Neptune on the 19th. Don't make any major commitments on that day, because Neptune is all about spirituality and creativity. He is not good for logical thinking. That is what Mercury rules. Mercury rules conscious awareness, conscious thinking. So when Neptune is challenging Mercury, your thinking can be foggy. The numbers don't add up. You can say things that aren't true. You can hear things that aren't true. And you could exaggerate a bit, And so, just don't sign on the dotted line on the 19th or make any major commitments. Wait a few days, your head clears, and you can, see things better and make better decisions for yourself. It's all about making right choices. And there's always consequences to every choice we make. And so you want to be making sure that you're making the right choices for you, you're getting where you want to go, and attracting what you want, not what you don't want. Now, the Taurus full moon on the 14th is a nice moon. It is a good moon. The moon has no challenging aspects to it. The moon in Taurus brings the energy for you to the area of health, well-being, lifestyle, work habits, health habits, psychological diet, and how you feed yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. It's being opposed by the sun in Scorpio, and that brings you to the area of unfinished business, secrets. It's also the area of how you get in your own way. So when you're in the cycle of Scorpio, right before your birthday, you're getting the entire year of initiations in this last, what I call 6-week cycle leading up to your birthday. So on your birthday, you have your solar return, sun return to place of birth. Up until that point, you're getting all of the lessons of the entire year in this last 6 weeks leading up to your birthday. So it can get a little intense before the birthday, where you got a lot of unfinished business, a lot of cleaning up to do. And this is a time for you before your birthday to focus on your health, focus on your well-being, focus on your work, focus on finishing anything that needs completion, so that when that sun steps into Sagittarius, you're rocking and rolling and ready to go. I do like this Taurus full moon. It is a super moon, and in fact, it's the closest to the Earth and in direct alignment with the sun and the Earth. So it's going to be a very big moon. And it's the last one that's this close until 2034, which is very interesting. So for you, this is really going to highlight that behind the scenes, or how you've been getting in your own way, how you, it can also be how you escape from reality. The 12th house, where Scorpio is for you, is that area of self-defeating patterns we deny or disown. And so it brings it to your conscious awareness of, oh yeah, I really do that now, don't I? And we all have a 12th house. We all have the sign before us there. So, it's just an opportunity to finish the unfinished business and clean up what needs cleanup and get ready for your birthday. Get ready for the good stuff coming. Now, this Taurus full moon has a lot of healing in it, because Chiron is sextiling it and Pluto is trining it. So both of those are positive energy being poured into this full moon. And so that allows you to purge and release what no longer serves you, giving you greater clarity and insight into your deepest desires, what you really want, and making right choices for you. And that's what it's all about, is doing what's right for you and making right choices that empower your health, your well-being, your happiness, your love, your joy. So allow the Scorpio energy to purge you of what's not working, what's not serving you, and allow the Chiron healing energy to nourish and nurture you so that the healing process is really taking hold and it empowers you to embrace the changes you need to make. Now, Neptune is moving direct on the 19th, and that's a subtle energy. However, it's very significant because Neptune is squaring your Sagittarius new moon on the 29th. Neptune represents your highest ideals, your ideal living location, your ideal relationship, your ideal work. Neptune is about fantasy. It rules the movie industry. It rules the music industry. It rules spirituality and creativity. It has everything to do with raising your vibration. And you're here to raise your vibration because when you cross over into spirit, depending on your vibration, is where you go. And you can go to the highest levels of nirvana if you've been raising your vibration while you're here in the physical. So its intention is to bring you closer to God and source energy, your soul self, and raise your vibration. The challenge is Neptune clouds the mind. Neptune rules the ocean. Neptune is the god of the seas. Neptune rules fog. Neptune rules delusion. And it dissolves structures. It dissolves reality. And so we can be confused. You can feel doubtful. You can be deceived. And so you don't want to make any major decisions at the time of the new moon because Neptune is going to be so powerful and so strong. He's direct and he's in his home sign Pisces, which makes him even more powerful. And so he's got the power and he's challenging that new moon. And so you do not want to be making any kind of move at the time of the new moon. You don't want to be buying real estate or moving or making any kind of major life choice at the time of the new moon. Wait a couple of days because as the moon moves forward, about 12 hours later, the moon will couple with Saturn. And Saturn is reality. Saturn examines and tests whatever he touches, whether it's a planet or a house. And for you, he's in your own sign. And so when that moon couples with Saturn, there could be a very sober reality. And it will come in the days ahead because the sun will couple with Saturn about a week after about a week to 10 days after the new moon, and that will be the reality check. And so if you're making any kind of major decision at the time of the new moon, by the time you get to a few days later or a week later, or first part of December, Saturn's sitting there waiting for you going, why'd you do that? What was that about? Why did you invest in that? Why did you buy that? Why did you believe that person? Remember now, wherever Neptune is where we can be fooled. And he's in the area of your foundation. And so there could be something going on with you that you're not seeing clearly. And then once the sun hits Saturn, or even, a few hours later when the moon hits Saturn, bam, you get that wake up call. It's like going out to dinner with all your friends, and and it's like you decided you're going to pick up the check, and then everyone leaves and the check gets served, and you look and you go, oh my goodness, why did I agree to do that? Right? So Don't take on more than is right for you. Don't take on more than is appropriate for you. Because with Saturn, it's always about choices and consequences. And there's consequences to all of your choices. And, with this energy, Neptune is challenging you in what you believe, right? We don't get what we want, we get what we believe. So what do you believe is true for you? What do you believe is possible for you? Now, if you're using this energy creatively, it is fabulous. If you're using this energy to connect to your soul self or your mighty I am presence, your higher self, it's fantastic for that. So it is all about using the energy to be creative and spiritual, to meditate. It is not an appropriate energy to make major decisions with. And so hang loose at the time of the new moon and the end of this month. And then when you get into December, reality returns, the soberness returns. You'll feel a lot more grounded, a lot more centered, and empowered to be making right choices for you. And so this is a real test, right? And we're all being initiated. We're all being initiated. We are initiated by a spirit all the time. That's how we develop self-mastery. That's how we become masters. That's how we become ascended masters, is we got to get the test. We got to get the lesson. We got to have the experiences. And so this is going to be a test for you on discernment, not being too optimistic, not being too idealistic. Is not being negative either, because you don't want to get caught up with those negative Nancys or Debbie Downers, because that's going to the other extreme. Balance is the key. Staying in the middle of the road, not being too high, not being too low, just being present, grounded. And you can do that through your meditations. Do that through your quiet time. Take a moment to sit, breathe. Allow yourself to be fully present. All power is in the now. The past is history. The future is a mystery. When you go out to the future, you're not here. That means you have to come back and live now, which means you're always in the past or the future. The power is in the present. The choices you make today determine your tomorrow. Your character determines your destiny. If you're in your integrity, you're going to make right choices. If you're out of integrity, then there's going to be consequences. And Saturn is in your sign. And Saturn examines and tests, and you want to make sure that you're crossing all your T's, you're dotting all your I's, you're not missing any steps, because Saturn's waiting there for you to show you what you missed, to show you where you're coming up short, where you're not meeting the standard, where you're not achieving what you're supposed to be achieving or doing what you're supposed to be doing. But if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're doing what's right for you, then you're going to ride this Neptunian wave, and it's going to be amazing. And you can use this creative energy, this spiritual energy, to advance yourself on your spiritual path, on your personal path, especially creatively. Now, there's another astrological event here that's really significant, and I love it because it's Jupiter is being squared by Pluto. Squares mean challenge, but Jupiter feels good no matter what he's touching. It doesn't matter whether he's squaring or opposing, because it's Jupiter. And Jupiter is all about your personal growth, your expansion of consciousness, your wisdom, gaining wisdom. And we gain wisdom through experience. Success. Doorways opening for you. Doorways to the goals you want to achieve. And you've got Jupiter in that area of goals. And in Libra, it sextiles you. It pours positive energy into any planets You have in Sagittarius, your sun in Sagittarius, your moon in Sagittarius, your rising Sagittarius, your Mercury in Sagittarius, and so on. And that is uplifting and encouraging. And if you are taking action, you can have positive results. This energy goes exact on the 24th of November, March 30th, and August 4th, 2017. It's going to arouse your ambition. It's going to make you want to achieve things unlike ever before. And you can strive for power and success. You can go after those goals. You can go after that new job. You can start that new company. Whatever it is you want to do, Jupiter with Pluto like this can empower you to achieve great things better than your wildest dreams. So this energy is going to be around for 10 months here. Now, the challenge with this energy is it can make us do too much. It can make us too ambitious. It can make us too aggressive. It can make us too power hungry. And that creates resistance from other people. So make sure you're creating the win-win in whatever you're doing. Make sure you're taking other people along with you. Watch out for obsession. Pluto rules obsession. Jupiter rules expansion. So it's going to be expanded obsession. And we can obsess about anything. We can obsess about chocolate. We can obsess about squirrels. It doesn't matter what the object is. It matters what we're focusing on. Because wherever the mind goes, energy follows. And whatever you focus on, you create. And so you want to make sure that you're not being obsessed in your ideas, in your beliefs, because it can also bring up this righteousness and dogmatic. I am right, and I'm right about what I believe, and I'm right about what I think. And if you agree with me, good. And if you don't, you're wrong. This is what causes wars in the world, right? And so, in the age of Aquarius, in the age of enlightenment, we allow everyone to believe what is right for them, because your beliefs are based on your life experience, which is going to vary from person to person. And so you want to be hanging loose on what it is you believe, or your thoughts or ideas, so that you are enlightened and receiving the enlightenment that will empower you, and not running over other people's boundaries, and not allowing other people to tell you what to do, how to live, how to be, because this energy is going to be getting people, very, for some people it can be where they're just, you see some of those ministers, and they're yelling at everybody, and they're just, Jesus is the only one, and all of that. He may be the only one for you, but that doesn't mean he's the only one for the rest of us. And so it's really important for all of us to stay in our own lane and not be running into everybody else's lane because we're right. Because again, what's right for you may be horrible for me. What's totally right for me may not work for you at all. And so if you're doing what's right for you, and allowing everyone else to do what's right for them, then you're just going to be zipping along and attracting abundance, attracting opportunity, attracting good things to you. And that's what it's all about. So be like the duck and let the water roll off your back. Don't be attached to what anybody says or does unless it's positive, unless it lifts you up, unless it resonates. If it resonates and it is empowering, yeah, you can use it. But if it's just criticizing and judging, let it go. Let it just fall off your back like the duck does with the water. Keep those boundaries strong. This is a time for expansion and dreaming and creating. This is a wonderful time for business expansion. This is a wonderful time for creating the new you. Now, for those of you interested in love, are open to love, I'm not seeing a big focus going on in that area, although love can happen anywhere, anytime. I would be careful with it at your new moon because, you could be meeting someone and thinking they're just, the cat's meow, and then come to find out, they're not at all what you thought they were. That's the Neptune. Remember now, Neptune is love's illusion. Neptune casts spells. And we can be in love with the donkey and think, oh my goodness, she's my Venus. He's my knight in shining armor. And then when Saturn comes along and breaks the spell, you're sitting there looking at the donkey going, oh my gosh, how did I get here? And so be aware of the energies and how that's working for you, and don't get carried away by the fantasy or being in love with love. It's okay to be in love with love. It's okay to love. However, it's really important to see people for who they are and not who you want them to be. See people clearly, and then that will keep you in a safe place without moving into disappointment. Because Neptune, it's not that Neptune wants to disappoint us. We get disappointed because we're idealizing people or things, and that's what gets you into hot water. It is a good time financially. Pay attention to the 25th. Venus will couple with Pluto that day, and there could be some sort of expense for you around the 25th that you may not see coming, or you may see it coming now that I said it. So, just pay attention to it. Also, it's a time where you will evaluate what you love and value, or really see, the truth behind a relationship or a situation or even something you own. You may see like, oh, I thought it was worth more than what it is, or I thought this was a really good business investment, and I'm not so sure now that it's worth investing in or continuing to invest in. And so that's important to do, it's important to evaluate our choices because they all have consequences. And we want to make sure that whatever we're investing in, it's worth to continue to invest in. So there's nothing wrong with clearing out what's no longer serving you around that 25th time period, in regards to how you're using your resources, how you're using your talents and abilities, and what changes you can make so that you are seeing greater prosperity and you're attracting the abundance that you want to see. Your health is improving, so if there's been any kind of health concerns going on, that Taurus full moon will be helping you to improve it. And that's always good too. Spiritually, you're growing tremendously. Make sure that you are listening and taking that time to ground, because this Neptune energy can be very ethereal. So make sure that you're grounding. Make sure you're taking time for yourself, creating that space to meditate, quiet time, to create the health, the well-being, the vitality. And then you're just going to zip along into December. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, favoring, sharing, and Google Plussing my podcast, Sagittarius. I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. You totally rock. And if you would like for me to take a detailed look at your astrology, it's very easy. The link is below in the Show More section. You go to my astrology page, you purchase your consultation. Upon checkout, you get the link to my schedule, and we're working together. Or if you're interested in coaching, that link is below in the Show More section. You go to my coaching page, you purchase a session. Upon checkout, you get the link to my schedule, and we're coaching you. So until next time, Sagittarius, focus on what's working. Focus on those positive thoughts, because they will give you positive results.